LegacyMaker, the all sports network.
This is it. This is for all the chips. Work for championships. No, it gets no better than this. Just sit and relax a bit. We're talking to pass and blitz. We're talking to jump and switch. We're talking to pitch and miss. Clean space, kick space. You come to the right place. Deep bait. I don't need to see other shows. I'm straight. Cause they're not impressing me. I tune into Legacy. Legacy. Fourth and goal and on the road. Legacy. Down 3 seconds to go. Legacy. 2 out, bases loaded. Legacy. It's not a mystery, you're tuned into Legacy. Check the flag on the final lap. Legacy. 12th round, who gets in the match? Legacy. You want a legacy. You build a legacy. Broadcasting live right now so the whole world can see.
Now, the Legacy Maker Sports Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. We about to get this bad boy started.
Here are your hosts, Darrell, Owens, and Jay Quimby.
We hope all is well with everybody out here in the world. All right. All right. Good to see you too, sir. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome to episode 288 here on the Legacy Maker Sports Podcast. We are here just 2 wonderful days away from Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas.
The celebration of the Lord's birth.
Yes. So Christmas is fastly approaching. I hope everybody is doing well out there. I hope everybody is taking good care of themselves out there as we are getting ready for the holiday season. Jay, how you been, my man?
You know.
Yeah, I know. So me and Jay always, we try not to start these bad boys off somberly or in such a downer mood, but it feels like every time we come on the air, something crazy happens.
I mean, collectively for our entire tribe, it's been a kind of a shit week, but he doesn't give you nothing that he won't walk you through.
This is true. So, we're going to get into a lot today. We're going to get into, last week. We're going to get into, obviously, this week. We got a big game tonight with Titans and 49ers. It should be a really good one. And we're going to talk, of course, everything that's gone on in the last week. I'm not going to stick long on this, but I want to dedicate today's show. Jay's got somebody to dedicate as well. I'm dedicating today's show to my cousin Rick. Man, when you talking about the life of the party, the DJ, cook master, drink master, my man did it all. And ever since I was a kid, he was always a huge part of my life, definitely my brother's life. They were like road dogs, and they were like best of friends. So, not just cousin, family, brother, you name it. But he's one of the best. I'll give my love to Tasha and the girls. To Bug and Dre and his kid, the rest of his kids, and just to his family, my Jackie. It's just a lot. So prayers out to them. Also to the passing of my Aunt Joanne, who was like a second mom to me. I mean, like my field trip buddy, we went everywhere together, and especially from kindergarten to 8th grade. So it's just different. It's been a rough year, so but I'm not gonna go more than that. But yeah, y'all already know the story. So.
No, I'm gonna clarify what Darrell really wants to say, and Darrell is just being very nice. It's been one of the shittiest years it possibly could be.
Yep.
And it's just taken a library of knowledge and so many big-hearted people away from all of us. And it's just terrible. My cousin Barb passed away earlier this week. She and her husband, got me when I was 12. And, I stayed with them for a year. And they really molded me into the man I am today. I'd have been more than likely in jail or dead by now if it wasn't for, them teaching the mannerisms, the respect. Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm an asshole sometimes, but I always say, sir, ma'am, things like that, shoestring, however you identify. But,
shoestring.
Definitely gave me the thing because I had hair down past my shoulder when I went there, and I won't want this is too long. This is why I wear them in a hat because my hair's too long.
With the swoosh, yeah, with the swoosh.
So, definitely my thoughts and prayers with their kids and their family out there. It's been a hot minute because they live in Illinois, and just they got their angel wings and they're up there partying, looking down on us, and expecting us to keep carrying on that torch.
Yeah, well, we got to do the best we can on that, and I feel like I don't know, man. That's where we are. It's just we just take it day by day and just try to honor them, and that's where we are. We're just
very much so. I mean, hey, and my daughter turned 20 yesterday, so
positive things. Yeah, so happy birthday to Kyla. Uncle Darrell loves you. Pops loves you, so you already know how that go.
Oh yeah.
Once again, show the gate to them. We love y'all and appreciate y'all dearly. All right, so now that we've gotten all the love out,
don't forget Becca. Becca had a couple people pass away too, but my girl has got a heart of gold. If anybody knows her, and if you don't, you're missing out because she's one hell of a human being.
Amen. Testify, brother. Testify. Nothing but the truth. None but the truth. Before we get rolling, let's see what we got in the comments here. My man Darrell, epic Cowboys fan. Hey, you already know, brother. 4 horsemen ride. He's on. I'm telling you, that's how we do. Becca in the building. What's up, Becca? Love you dearly. Love you.
Paul Schofield. What's up, brother?
Schofield in the building. What's up, Paul? Hope all is well, man. I hope all is well. Hope everybody's doing well.
I love Paul. Paul finally got his princess, and your world is about to get fucked up, bro. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. So
I like that last comment Becca said.
Right.
You got to put that
right.
Up. Come on.
There we go. We are living their legacy. That's right. We are their
living legacy.
We are their living legacy. And you're right. We're gonna push through, and we're gonna keep showing every day how much we love them. So
they'll
much love.
Always be right here. Always in our hearts.
Always. And then we got Gail in here. Gail, thank you, Gail. We appreciate all the prayers.
Brenda, why don't you go back to work? Damn it.
We do love you, Paul, man. We hope all is well then, and that the kids ain't driving you too crazy. All right, so let's kind of get into it, y'all. We got some ones we got to get into. We're going to start off with, of course, the thing that is kind of like just taking over sports, and that would be, ladies and gentlemen, none other than Mr. COVID itself. Now, I'm not picking out.
I was going to say, why did you pick COVID? Baker?
I'm sorry, Baker, that you missed the COVID, but I know he was out last week to the COVID, so it was the best picture I could think. I almost picked Taylor Heineke, but I was like, nah, let's go with Baker. Baker's. So anyway, COVID-19 outbreak in sports last week, and it affected pretty much, everybody. And it has been a low key. No, it's not a low key. It's a high key disaster, and we know what it has just pretty much done to everybody. The NFL went 1 week from maybe they had maybe 10 or 15 people out to 70 to 80 people out on the COVID list.
When I looked at the Browns roster last week, they had 21 people on the COVID reserve list. That is one short of a full starting, offensive defense.
Yeah, it's crazy. When your whole squad is out, that's when a problem is going to kick in.
I read on a meme, 2022 is basically 2020.2.
Yeah. It's like, I remember I probably this time last year, Jay, I think I remember everybody like, yeah, man, guess what? 2021's coming, things are going to change. And I'm like, I'm going to hold my breath on that thing. I said, I was only a week and a half in before my mom passed, and it was like, boo! And from that point on, it was like, nah, bro, this thing ain't changing. We got a little bit of ways. People are hoping that 2022 is going to do the same, but I ain't holding my breath. Well, I'm just going to be patient and just take it day by day.
Our household, we were 3 weeks in, and the cute one passed, and I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So it's crazy because sports has just really cranked up. The NHL has decided to say we're gonna hold off for a couple of days. They shut the league down for a couple of days. Adam Silver came out day before yesterday when he was asking, "Hey, is the NBA going to shut down here for a couple of days?" He said no because, and I understand why he said.
I thought the NBA took 3 days because they went
No.
from yesterday till Christmas Day to call it
No,
quits.
well, I mean, I think they already had those days, like kind of, but he said they asked him, well, they're going to like suspend operations. He said no. He said because we have to learn to live with COVID. He said it's a part of our daily lives now. He said we can't, if we keep shutting down, we're not. And I kind of agree with him to an extent, but I don't agree with him because like you want people to be safe, but we also do have to find a way to live with it because it doesn't look like it's going anywhere no time soon.
I agree, but at the same time, uh, it's gambling with people's lives, man. I mean,
Right.
uh, I'm not saying they need to shut it down, but the our NFL said they're going to start testing only if you're asymptomatic or symptomatic. What? That don't make any damn sense.
Well, I also heard the NFL. What was the other thing I heard from the NFL? They said they may change the policy. The NFL's already required their personnel to go get booster shots. Like they've told them, you got to go get your booster shot. So but now we're hearing that the booster shot could also be, this is not just like, hey, take a booster shot now, you're good. Like we're talking about every couple months that you have to take a booster shot.
About every 6 is what they say.
Yeah, about every 6. So things are changing, and we know that. But from you overall, Jay, let me ask you this: do you think that that the sports world do you think it will ever completely shut back down like we had it before, or do you think they will keep on pushing on?
Well, at the rate people are getting sick and the hospitals, again, we're back to where I think we're going to get another shutdown. I really do. And I hate to say that, but people got to be safe.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
The way that, I mean, we've never in our lifetime seen something like this. The only thing comparable is the, Spanish flu in
Right.
1918.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought that we would. I mean, you see movies. How many movies have we seen with crazy stuff like this happen? We never thought we would be the movie. We never thought we really never thought we would be the movie. So
we're living history right now, and the thing is a lot of the stuff. I guess for me, I try to look at the one benefit from COVID is it's taken away from all the BS that we had going on with the riots and the segregation of what was going on. COVID is affecting everybody. Don't matter. Oh shit! Right. I lost my light. I broke it. It is. I don't know.
But you're right. You're right though. COVID is affecting everybody in so many different ways, and I mean, just the way sports, I don't know how it's going to continue. I know they're going to have to continue. We've seen college basketball. They've already started, in certain aspects, they've shut down some games. I know VCU has shut down a couple games over the last couple of weeks, that they were supposed to play Penn State. They shut that down. They were supposed to play Jacksonville. Not Jacksonville. Oh, I forgot who they were supposed to play Tuesday, but they were supposed to have a game Tuesday. They shut that down. The girls were supposed to have a game. They shut that down. UVA did play last night against Clemson. Got smacked. Wasn't cute. But they're still kind of rolling along. So we have seen where certain teams are like we're going to shut it down or we got to take a step back.
But
so
let's not. I know we're a sports show, but let's take it off of that. There's countries on the other side of the planet that already are starting their lockdown protocols again.
Right. I don't know. See, and that's the thing. Before we move on from this, I will say this, and I said it before, I don't know if the country can handle financially or economically.
I'm not going to disagree because mean, right now, Black Friday was gone. So, the biggest day for sales for stores are not there. Mm-hmm. But then you also go in and you look at the shelves and
yeah, shelves empty.
We went into the $1.25 store.
$1.25 tree.
Yeah.
$1.25 tree.
Because my sweet Becca is kind of we're doing this thing where on the day of the holiday, we're going out and we're going to, help the homeless, give them stuff. So, she's the only person I've ever seen spend almost $200 in the $1.25 tree.
Whew.
Yeah.
Big money. The
There's people
$1.25.
behind her that were piping hot, but you know what? It's for a good cause.
$1.25, a whole bunch. I ain't gonna try to calculate it.
Don't do it. And I know where you got your budget.
Hey, it would have been a little bit easier if it was still $1. That extra 25 cents throw you off.
No, because I was in there and I seen the buzzer that looked like the green one that you had. And I chucked that fucker across the store.
You threw the buzzer? Oh, segue to that. Legacy on Fire, a couple of weeks. Be ready. So yeah, Legacy on Fire will be coming back first week of the playoffs. We'll give you more details down the road. We'll toss it in there. Yeah, we're gonna have that's gonna be a very interesting conversation when that time comes. But anywho, so yeah, breakout in sports, just be careful out there, everybody. That's our message on that. I know people get tired of hearing about COVID, but it's our lives now. Just be safe, be careful out there, wash your hands, just be safe.
Let people look at you sideways. Wear your mask if it makes you feel comfortable. I do.
Right. I understand that completely. All right. So our next one, we're going to go over last week's week 15. And in the NFL, I can't believe we're already at week 15, man. Time has went by fast. It just kind of couple now are here at 15 in the NFL season.
I think you got the wrong Dallas Cowboy on there, because I'm going to tell you right now, it should be Micah Parsons.
You know what? We definitely got to talk about Michael Parsons, because Michael Parsons has been an absolute gem for that Dallas or Arlington.
They won last week, so
they won. So I can say it. Okay, so because they won, the Dallas Cowboys 10-4, number 2 seed currently in the NFC. Parsons has been amazing, absolutely amazing, all over the field. He's starting to get a lot of love for Defensive Player of the Year. Most people in their minds, he's already the Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then there's small whispers of MVP. They've been doing really well.
He's got to be Defensive Player of the Year. He's got to surpass TJ Watt. And I mean, even Shaq Barrett has more sacks than him. Mm-hmm. So I don't see the full out Defensive Player of the Year. And then you look at the counterpart on his team, second year corner, Diggs is he is one of the worst in coverage, but he is coming up on Night Train Lane's record of interceptions in a season.
That would be truly impressive if that goes down. Truly impressive. Stephen Daniels, love you guys. Merry Christmas, Stephen. Hope everything's
brother. I have really
everything's cool up north. Everything is cool up north.
Steven's been having some, medical issues, and I don't know what he's going through, but me wanting to glow in the dark, I been there. So.
Yeah. All right, so let's go over our recap of last week. First game, we'll go over Chiefs overtime matchup. Chiefs now number 1 seed in the AFC, 34-28 in this contest in LA. It was a great game.
Do you remember a couple weeks ago when people are like, "Oh, the Chiefs are done. Put a fork in them"?
Yes.
Okay.
And they were crazy. They were crazy for saying it. We all know that the Chiefs weren't done. They had some things to figure out. Pat Mahomes was definitely not playing good football. I mean, it was hard to watch at times. I was almost shocked. I'm like, man, it was only a couple games into this season, and people are like, he's done. I mean, it's only been like 5. It was like at the time, it was 8 games into the season. I think they were 4-4. They've won 6 in a row. And people are like, oh, it's over. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, this is Pat Mahomes. He's not no slouch here. You got to give him some time. They're figuring it out.
Travis Kelce, he was, here, there, spotty. And I think last week he had 191 receiving yards, 2
best
TDs.
game of his career.
And I was just like, and of course, I'd be playing somebody in Paul's league who had fucking Travis Kelce.
Well, it's crazy because the demise of Kelce was another person. The demise of Tyreek Hill, we keep hearing all that. Kelce had his best game of his career against the Chargers. Best game of his career. They said statistic-wise, it's the best game of his career. And we've seen him in a lot of great games. We've seen him have 2 touchdown games, 3 touchdown games. That was his best game ever last week. So all the Chiefs are garbage. Guess who's the number 1 seed in the AFC? The Chiefs.
Well, that's because, as Becca would say, because she was screaming at the TV the other day, uh, what the hell is Harbaugh smoking there in Baltimore, bro?
Oh yeah. And it's crazy because 3 weeks ago, the Ravens were the number 1 seed, and then they lost 3 in a row
And
by 4 points.
2 of those are because he decided to go for the 2-point conversion to win the game.
Yep.
And if Lamar can't make that throw, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Huntley, because Huntley stepped in and did amazing. But what makes you think he's going to convert it?
That's true. And watching those 2 games, and the first time in NFL history that a team has lost 3 straight games by 4 points or less. Never happened in the league history, and it happened in these last couple of weeks. But just imagine if they win these 3 games, we're talking about an 11-3 Ravens team. Even if they win 2 of these games, we're talking about the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Exactly.
And now we're talking about a team that is barely. I think they might not be in the playoffs. I'd have to go back and look at the playoff picture, but I don't even think they're in the playoffs right now. They're either on number 7 or they're like number 6. So that's how crazy it is right now. And the Ravens had that chance against a Packers team that, to be honest with you, being at this game, the feeling from the beginning was I'm not gonna. And I've seen Packers games and I'm like, I don't like this.
They're actually number 8 right now.
So right, they're on the outside looking in. They went from being the number 1 seed. That's how close the AFC is. They went from being the number 1 seed to outside the playoffs in 3 weeks because of 4 points, 2-point conversions. The number 1 seed, and everybody was like, "Yeah, they got this pretty easy." Now Lamar hasn't played the last couple of weeks. He's been out a little bit here and there, but they still Huntley's played great. He's played great. And he's been phenomenal. That's why I said, it's crazy to me that they lose this game to the Packers, which they had a chance to tie. Now, there was 42 seconds left, and Aaron Rodgers is on the other side of the field. But the way that the Ravens had played, especially with that last 12 minutes left in the fourth, they were down by 2 touchdowns, and they played great football. They had the momentum on their side, and they could have won that game. I'm glad that John Harbaugh decided to go for a 2-point conversion.
Well, I'm sure you are, because it was your first game with your son.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I normally don't root for your team because, we got that. Don't care for you even in different divisions now. I still, that rivalry is there. But seeing my nephew go back, go. And that woman going crazy.
That lady was pissed. It was great. I gotta tell that story real quick. So we're sitting there, and with 12 minutes in the fourth quarter, you see there's a gentleman that was sitting beside DJ, and the lady that's sitting in front of him with her boyfriend. So every time, and this is very annoying, every time, especially being the road team, every time the Ravens got a first down, they have this graphic that comes across the screen with chains. And it's like a Ford truck. It's like, move those chains. So the boyfriend would get up drunk. Move the chains. And they got a lot of first downs. So this happened all game long, standing in front of us, all that stuff. So the guy in front of us says, when the Packers are up 31-17, it's over, baby. It's nighttime. And I looked over at him and said, don't you ever do that. I told him, I said, don't you talk like that, because they will come back as soon as you say. And as soon as I said that, the Ravens gladly just started making their way back into that contest. So, it was a great game, other than DJ falling asleep for the second quarter, but that is my fault. I fed him deeply. And then, but the Packers got the win 31-30. I was cool with it. We won the division. We're in the playoffs. We just got to figure out how to not lose too badly in the playoffs. We'll figure it out down the road. Anywho, other matchups last week, Colts and Patriots, big win for the Colts. Jay, I got 2 teams, Jay. 2 teams that are my wild card, watch out for them if they make the playoffs. The Colts and the 49ers. Those 2 teams to me are very scary in each side of the brackets. The Colts, because if you look at the Ravens game that they shouldn't have lost, and the Buccaneer game, let's be honest, they were winning that Buccaneers game. They shouldn't have lost that game. They gave that game away to a really good Buccaneers team. They win those 2 games, guess what seed they are? They're either 1 or they're the 2 seed in the AFC. And they played really good football. And as long as Jonathan Taylor stays healthy, they're going to be dangerous. So I got Colts and 49ers as
my MVP of the league right now is Jonathan Taylor.
I got him at number 2. I've had him at number 1 for most of the time. Right now I have Aaron, Taylor, and Tom, and that's my 3 right now.
I like Tom, but I mean, if you look before Carson decided to show up and actually play,
Mhm.
Taylor has been the heartbeat of that team all year.
Yeah, he has been, and without them, and here's a stat that'll get you. Without them, if every game they're 8-1 when Carson Wentz throws under 230, under 230 yards. They're 8-1. So the games where they're passing the ball too much and not maybe giving the ball to Taylor as much, they're losing. So they're like 0 and I think they're 0-5. They're 0-5.
But it also worked out on certain things because with Wentz, he has played over 75% of the snaps.
Right.
Even if he was to set out the last 2 weeks, that conditional second rounder has turned into a first rounder coming and going to the Eagles. So the Eagles have 3 first-round picks now.
Man, look at the Eagles, man. Eagles fly high.
What's with Philly teams getting so many first-round picks and trust the process?
Yeah. We're going to well, I mean, if you think about it right now, the Eagles are right there on the outside looking in the playoff hunt. I think the Vikings currently have that 7th seed in the NFC, if I'm not mistaken, but the Eagles are right there. The Eagles have a shot.
You're absolutely right. The Vikings have the 7th seed, and number 8 is Philly.
So they're right. Yeah, keep that out there, Jacob. We're gonna need that. So they they keep that out there. So I know that they're right there, and the Eagles have a chance to make moves. So that's what I said. This whole thing. When I did my power rankings this week, I noticed this from number 22 up until about number 8 in the power rankings. It's about like 15 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's above 500 from the 22 team down up. 22 teams in the league are above 500. 22 teams this late in the season are above or 500 and above. Only 10 teams have losing records. 10. And usually by that time you got it maybe a little bit, but no, this is to me is just the parity in the league is great right now. That's amazing to me.
Well, forever we thought, I gotta say, we'll talk about this, but the Cardinals team exponentially disappointed the hell out of me.
Yeah. Lions, and the Lions, it wasn't like the Lions beat them by like a touchdown or something. The Lions beat them by, it was like 30-12.
They whooped their ass.
They beat them by 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's
the Lions shot themselves in the foot because with that tie, it gives Jacksonville the first round pick or number 1 overall pick again.
Yes, they're gonna lose the number 1 pick at the current time. And now Jacksonville plays the Jets this week. So that's another intriguing one with draft.
But the Jets looked pretty decent last week against the
Dolphins. They should have beat the Dolphins, and the Dolphins came back late in that contest. So, I mean, you look at that, and the Dolphins came back late in that contest, and I'm like, man, the Dolphins found a way to win their 6th straight game. The Dolphins got the Saints this week. And a very interesting fact, Jay, because I know we're going to talk about this in predictions, but just came across my screen here. Taysom Hill and Everson are on COVID reserve list, making the way for Ian Book to start this week on Monday Night Football. I know we talked about that a couple weeks ago, but you was like, man, when we're going to see Ian Book? Well, guess what? If everything stays the way it is, we will see Ian Book start on Monday Night Football. That is COVID for you. COVID.
I really, he was very stereotypical, size, his accuracy. He don't have the arm strength that Breeze had even after Breeze's shoulder surgery. But if he can, I really am interested to see what Book can do. I might stay up late and watch that game.
I'm intrigued by it. I was like, wow, look at that Monday Night Football. And me, I was like, Jay, we just talked about it a couple weeks ago. Now we're going to get to see, hopefully everything's okay with Hill and Trevor Siemian. But if not, and they're going to have to be out, we're going to see Ian Book start. That's gonna be very interesting. Other games on there: the Bills beat the Panthers 31-14. The Panthers' offensive line is garbage. I feel really bad for Cam Newton, and and Sam Darnold is back this week or supposedly, but yeah, it's bad.
You feel bad for Cam Newton? Did you see that
do.
damn pass on 4th down?
I know. We talked about that, and it was a bad pass, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's just scared because I was sitting there like the offensive. Every time he went back to pass, I feel like there was already people back there. And
does he not have his little security hat on to make him feel better?
I don't think the security hat's going to help here, buddy. Not the that offensive line people do.
Dude, straight up, I'm going to tell you. No offense, Matt Rule is one of the worst head coaches in NFL right now, and he needs to be fired.
It's crazy because at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't have said that. At the beginning, I feel like they were what 5-0, 4-0 at the beginning of the season.
But
I felt like he had made Sam Darnold look great, and I don't know what happened, and it just all of a sudden just started falling apart. And it was like
his game management sucks.
Yes,
he's not on his OC about play calling. I mean, they get McCaffrey back, and they're going to run that poor guy's career into the ground. I'm being honest.
They fired their OC like a week ago.
I know.
And they fired was it Joe Barry? Joe Barry? Am I wrong? Joe Barry? Yeah, they fired Joe Barry about a week ago. And so they're once again they're in shambles. This team is in shambles. So I agree with you 100%, Jay. I really thought he was going to be a really good coach for this team. I really did. I thought he would get them with it. No.
And that defense has been one of the top 10 defenses. That's the thing.
And they can't catch a break. They can't catch a break because the offense is so miserable.
They're exhausted by the time you get to the middle of second quarter because they're on the damn field so much.
Exactly, and it's just so sad. They've got to figure that thing out. But the Bills win a much needed game, 31-14. The Lions, we talked about the Lions winning over the Cardinals 30-12. The Dolphins winning 31-24 over the Jets. The Cowboys 26 over a Giants team that has been, we talk about another team riddled with injuries. Shepard's gone for the year. Galladay might as well just retire because I mean, they wasted all the money on him. If I was a Giants fan, I would say, man, you got to give us our money back. You got to give us our money back. Galladay has been garbage.
It works out for the Lions because I think they'll get one of the 3rd round compensatory picks.
I believe so.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's just a bad deal.
Shaq Barkley again, just running his ass and career into the ground. Gettleman, they already said he wouldn't be back.
Good.
Interesting thing that would be good for them. Right now they have I believe the 6th and the 7th pick in the draft.
Yeah, I think they got back-to-back picks in the draft.
And so the way things stand. But, I would take and fire everybody. Trade Daniel Jones for some buttercups. Bring in like a Sam Howell. But find yourself a veteran quarterback because, I'm glad Teddy is okay, but I have a feeling Bridgewater is going to be available.
Right.
So
that's going to be interesting. I agree, though. They definitely need a veteran quarterback.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, you want to find your quarterback of the future, but it's tough in New York. It's just tough in New York. I mean, look at the Jets. And I know that's a really weird comparison at times, but look at the Jets.
The Jets have been through their quarterback carousel kind of looks like the Texans.
Yeah. Or the old school Browns Baker's still on the watch list there. So, but I mean, yeah, so you kind of look at that and it's like, teams that have had the Washington football team, they've had a lot of quarterbacks in the last 20 years. A lot, not a little bit, a lot. So it's teams like that you just like, man, they cannot catch a break and find that guy. All you can hope if you're the Giants, you might have to redo this thing. I hate to say it, but I think Joe Judge. We call him Judge Joe. Why not that fancy
Judge Joe Mathis?
Judge Joe, man. Judge Joe Mathis. But yeah, I mean, I think it might be time for them to just kind of redo it all. Get you a new GM in there. Get you somebody who can that knows how to handle themselves around the league. Maybe a strong up and comer who's got a lot of potential there. I know we talked.
I hate to do this to him, but who has and he's a college coach right now, and he's had a kind of a down season from what he's
Mhm.
normally at. But
Mhm.
Brian Shaw up
Yeah.
there in
Yeah.
Stanford.
Everybody's been trying to get Brian Shaw to come out of college for a minute, man. It
And
would
I
be
think that
interesting to
would
see him
be
go.
a good play. I mean, I know New York is not, but I believe he will, step up to the challenge.
Right.
For me, I need to see more diversity in head coaches. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but I don't think that the way that they're recycling, if they hire Jeff Fisher to another fucking head
Oh,
coaching
somebody
job,
needs to get punched in the
yeah,
chest. Somebody needs to get punched in the chest. I will say, like, no, because I don't want to see Herm come back. I love Herm Edwards, but I think he's doing a really good job on Arizona. I think he's got the perfect job. Like
oh, yeah.
I think he's the perfect college coach. So I'm not even going to do that to him. I think he's
And
great.
that is a man that can take somebody and just with like 3 or 4 good conversations with him,
Mhm.
you could believe you could beat the entire world because he is one of the
Exactly.
greatest motivators I've ever heard
Right,
speak.
and that's why I think he's great for college because he's going to be a good guy that can not just for the sports wise, but he's going to teach those young men to be good young men, and
Exactly.
that's a whole nother concept. But yeah, but the Giants, and I know they our boys on here because I know George got mad when we talked about retooling the Giants last week. But hey, man, I mean, yeah, it might be time to do that. If we ever decide to do that, we'll have to bring on Russ and bring on Russ and Cody to see, their thoughts in that. It'll be very interesting to see how that goes down.
But Russ's answer: bring in Greg Schiano.
Don't do that. Don't do Russ like that. It can't be that bad.
He Chip Kelly'd my team, so I don't give a shit.
In other matchups, we had the Steelers win over the Titans 19-13. The Texans beat the Jaguars 30-16. The Bengals with a 15-10 victory over the Broncos. Now the AFC North Division leaders in a division that nobody wants to win. I think everybody's had the lead in that division this year, at least once. And everybody's had the lead in the division. And to be honest with you, I think everybody's only like a game out. Everybody's a
Cleveland
game out.
7-7. Pitt is 7-6.
Mhm.
Baltimore is 8-6, and Cincy's 8-6.
It's anybody's division. With 4, what is it? We got 4 weeks to go? No, 16, 17, 18. We got 3 weeks to go. And it's anybody's division in 3 weeks.
No.
Big matchup, Bengals and Ravens this week. Huge matchup. We've seen what the Bengals have already done to the Ravens this year. This is a huge game.
But it depends what Bengals we get because I see 2 different versions of them.
Yes,
every time I see them because their defense either shows up or they stay their ass on the bus.
Do you want us to hang out? Nah, you good? Just go on. That's what it feels like. Like those are the Bengals. Are another one of those teams. Is hard to like when we do pick'ems. It's hard to pick because it's like I don't know. I was like I don't know. That's how it's been all year. But they did find a way to win defeat the Broncos and take the division lead. The 49ers, the hot team, 31-13 over the Falcons, who continue to just be the Falcons. Ravens, Packers 31-30. Packers winning. Saints and Broncos was 9-0. And we talked a little bit about just injury riddle right now. You guys have lost tons of important pieces to that puzzle over here. So who's out? Because I know Godwin's out for the season.
Godwin's out for the season. It looks like Fournette is done until possibly we might make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Evans could be gone for 2 weeks because it's a hamstring.
This is crazy.
And Levante David, there's still iffy on what's going to happen with him. But, the signing of Le'Veon Bell, I'm just like, what he says he's in the best shape of his life right now because he was training to be a boxer.
Right.
And if we can get just a portion of what he was, you're going to be all right. Came in and I was pissed about AB, but AB is a difference maker when he's on the field.
Right. It's you can tell. And Tom loves him low key. Yeah. I mean, like he's one of the guys he loves to go to. And so right now you're going to rely on a lot of young guys, which I'm intrigued though, because you guys have a lot of good young talent at the receiver position that we're going to get the chance to see. You've got the young guy Darden that you drafted last year. So who knows, they may use him in the slot a little bit. You got Tyler Johnson. There's another guy that we're going to get a chance to probably see here with
Scotty Miller, and then
Scotty Miller. Yeah.
But the thing with that is when everybody went down, Brady targeted Gronk 11 times. He only had 3 catches. So, and we got Cameron Brate. Howard's there. We're not using Howard for anything. We should have traded him at the trade deadline.
Still don't know why he hasn't been traded. Y'all got 3 tight ends on the team. I mean, and maybe it's because they think that Gronk may not come back. But I don't see Gronk retiring until Grady says maybe I'm done, bro. I don't see that. I mean,
if we championship it again, I think Gronk's done.
I would not be surprised by that, because that would give Gronk his 5th Super Bowl. So he's number 2 all time. It's crazy. And then other matchups, we Raiders and Browns. Raiders won a tough one against the Browns, very tough one. But the Browns, for them to be in that game with all of the COVID situations they had, and then the Raiders are pretty much, I won't say fully healthy, but they might as well have been fully healthy, and minus Waller, and they barely pulled it off. Vikings and Bears was it was hard to watch. It was definitely hard to watch. It was a hard to watch game, Jay. But the Vikings pulled it off.
Vikings got the W, and interesting fact, I seen some stats that come up on Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
He has been one of the most accurate quarterbacks, not even rookie quarterbacks ever in his first season.
Yeah, look, I was saying this to someone earlier, they've got their quarterback of the future.
Oh yeah.
The problem is this: you have to figure out and make this decision kind of quick. If Nagy is the guy to continue to lead or continue to get him, they have to. I think it's time for Chicago to look for that next guy. You hate to be that way, but let's look at it. I mean, the team looks lackluster, especially with some of the defensive pieces they got. I feel like they shouldn't be as bad as they look. That
defense 2 years ago was a monster,
right?
And they're not putting them in the right spots to make plays. And
I know they don't have Khalil Mack. Oh, but I mean, other than that,
second year in a row, Raekwon Smith. Yep. He should have been a Pro Bowler. I don't care what anybody says.
Pro Bowl is garbage. I mean, I don't even know why. I mean, Aaron Rodgers made the Pro Bowl 10 times, played once, I think. So
and if you look, every damn 49er almost made it. So the Bay Area, they're
and the Colts. Voting. The Colts had the most. People. Yeah, the Colts, the 8-6 Colts.
We had 3 offensive linemen make it: Jensen, Ali Marpet, finally, and Wirfs is a starter.
Yeah, Packers. We have it's Devontae, Aaron, and who was the other person? Who was the other person? I think they're on defense. Oh, Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark made his 2nd Pro Bowl. So Kenny Clark.
Y'all need to play Campbell or pay Campbell, because if you don't pay him,
bruh, we got it. Campbell has been amazing. Him and Rasul Douglas. Who thought that Rasul Douglas would be out here balling? Look, Rasul Douglas made it as an alternate to the Pro Bowl. He may make the Pro Bowl this year if somebody doesn't play.
And it's well deserved, because he's played amazing. And,
he has been,
and it's something Becca would say. A lot of people, it all depends on the scheme they play in, how well they perform. Look at Darrell Revis when he come to us for the 1 year. He sucked. It was his worst year ever, and we gave up. I guess D. Milner. So well. Yeah,
but then you go back and look at it, and he went to the Patriots, and he looked great. And sometimes it is just scheme. That's why I say I hope it's very important. And I'll just go back to Justin Fields, that they need to make a decision there, because that kid is going to terrorize the division. Once Aaron Rodgers he's going to terrorize the division for the next 10 years.
He's 21.
He's 21. He's going to terrorize that division for the next 10 years. And Green Bay, I'll be looking at Raphael and all them talking about, all right, guys, go ahead and enjoy your time, because I've had my time. So from now till I turn 50, it's like, well, it is what it is. So I'm trying to get one in before it rolls out. So come on, Packers. All right. And in the last 2 games was Eagles and Washington football team, and the Rams and the Seahawks. Rams won 20-10, and the Washington football team lost a tough one to the Eagles 27-17. And that's your NFL Week 15 NFL.
Who was the starting quarterback for the what the fuck?
Gilbert, Jared Gilbert.
Garrett Gilbert, yeah.
Garrett Gilbert. I don't know. I don't know his name. I know his last name is Gilbert. That's all I can give you. I know that.
Again, another COVID game.
Another COVID game. But you know what? They were winning. They looked good at one point. I was like, man, like they don't need him. Now, there's one play from that game that kind of threw me. Did you see the play where they threw the ball to Goddard and it bounced off of the back of his heel and landed Collins for the interception, took it to the touchdown, and they blew the play dead and said it hit the ground?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was crazy. I was like, wow, they let that fly. It was crazy.
How he hit the ground, but the ball was still in play.
So yeah, right. So when the ball he missed, the ball hit off Goddard, hit his heel, kicked into the air, interception, touchdown. They said nope, it touched the ground. I'm like, what? They couldn't see that on instant replay. Wildest thing I ever seen. But they said they had already blew it dead after he caught it and ran off. They said they thought it hit the ground, but it didn't.
That's why those refs got to be easy on their whistles. Let it play out. See what happens.
Right, just a little bit. All right, everybody. That was Week 15 NFL recap. Here, and now we're gonna go into our Week 16 predictions. Now, here's the thing. I normally by this time I've already this is gonna be a winger because I haven't really had a chance.
I haven't even gave Cody my picks yet. So
this is how I'm gonna do this on my phone. I'm these picks.
I'm using my phone to look at it.
As we're doing these picks, I'm gonna put it in our we'll get it set up for Cody so we can do this. I'm gonna have this thing ready to roll here. All right. So with that being said, our first game to talk about is tonight. We got 49ers versus the Titans, 8:20, Thursday night football game. I'm actually intrigued by this game. The Titans had a chance last week if they won. They're the 1 seed. They didn't. They lose this one. They're in real danger because Colts could. Colts
they're
have
gonna drop.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this is a big game for both teams because the 49ers are on the way up and the Titans are kind of just in the middle here trying to figure out can we get to the postseason and get King Henry back.
Now, this is a question. If you're John Lynch, Garoppolo gets you into the playoffs, whatever happens, do you keep him? You drafted Trey Lance.
Unless Garoppolo, they playing good football. But to be honest with you, from what I've seen from Trey Lance in time, he's their future. I mean, I really do think that he's good. He could be a good piece for them. The problem is Garoppolo's not playing bad football. So you've got to be willing to say, all right, well, we're gonna get rid of the guy we just spent all this money on a couple of years ago. That's why I was kind of skeptical about them making this pick in the first place. I know Garoppolo's had injuries here and there, but I mean, Garoppolo's gotten you to a Super Bowl. And didn't
they pay him an ass ton of money too?
Paid him a lot of money. That's why I said it's weird that they made the leap, but it's not a miserable thing to have 2 quarterbacks. But see, this is different for if the Packers had drafted Trey Lance, I'd have been like, yeah, this is great. Woo! Because when I thought they were going to trade Aaron Rodgers, I was like, trade him for that pick. Let's get a Trey Lance and get the future rolling. Because that was my mindset.
Your future is Jordan Love.
My future better not be that guy. Okay, after what I've seen. They need to go ahead and trade him and release him now. Look, I got the 49ers tonight. Who you got tonight? I got the 49ers.
49ers is who I'm taking too.
All right, so we got 49ers in there. Now, next one, Christmas Day game. I'm excited. This should be a fun one. Browns and Packers from Lambeau. I am going with the Packers in this one, but this is one of those games that would be a slip-up game for Green Bay because you got to watch out for Chubb if he's playing. Chubb is a monster on the ground. You got to be able to stop. And the one thing I'm confident in is Baker and that receiving core have not been sexy, and the Packers secondary has been playing really well lately. So on that front, if they're going to win this game, it's going to be from the run game perspective. But
I agree. I'm going Packers also.
All right, next one. Another good Christmas Day game. Colts and Cardinals from Arizona at 8:15. I'm going with the Colts. I don't like what I've seen from the Cardinals.
Let me look at something before I make my pick on this. I just want to see Colts and Cardinals, and I gotta see.
He's got to know. He's got to know something.
Well, I'm trying to look at the full injury report.
You want to make sure. He's like, I need to know for sure.
Shit. Yep, I'm going with the Colts because Hopkins is on the IR.
Yep, I knew it. Look, when I saw, I see how things are looking. They've got Pete. Could they win this game? Of course they can win this game. The Cardinals have been playing great all year, but I'm a little worried about them right now, trying to get themselves back together. I've got the Colts in this one.
I'm going Colts also.
Next one, we're going to hit Sunday now. I think I went too far. Hold on. We'll do Sunday, Lions and Falcons. Hey, man, the Lions are playing good football. I think they what 2 out of their last 3. So
they're fucking up. You know, I think they're going to draft Aiden Hutchinson just because, you know, Michigan guy puts asses in the seats.
Yeah,
but
makes sense.
You know what? I hate to do this to, you know, James. But, yeah, I'm going Lions also.
Man, oh, my God. This is a tough one because every time I pick the Falcons, they lose. And every time I pick the Lions this year, they lost. So, hold up. I know I got a coin in here somewhere. I got a coin in here. Let's flip it. Here we go. We're going to flip a coin. And heads. Heads, I'm going with the Lions. Tails, I'm going with the Falcons. Here we go. This is what we do on the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast.
We leave it up to chance.
I'm going with the Lions. I found out
why I lost power.
Oh, he lost power. So I'm going with the Lions in that one over the Falcons, and watch them do me dirty. Next one. This is a big one. This one is for the lead in the AFC North. Ravens and Bengals from Cincinnati. I haven't heard the word of Lamar's plan, but I'll be honest with you, Lamar playing the way Huntley's been playing, I really don't know if that makes a difference. It's all about the Bengals.
But that secondary for the Ravens is very suspect because there was very tight windows and they weren't making plays on the ball. They made Lazar look like he was Adams.
Well, the other thing about that is last week against Green Bay, they had 6 of their 5 of their 6 top cornerbacks out either because of injury or due to COVID reserve list.
And if they lost another cornerback, they were going to have to actually bring in a wide receiver to play defensive back. But I'm going Bengals.
I'm going Bengals too, and I really want to pick the Ravens because I'm hoping that Harbaugh is going to coach properly this week, but I just don't know. So I'm going to go with the Bengals. Next one. This is a good one. Rams and Vikings from Minnesota. This is another tough one to call because yes, the Rams are on a little win streak here. They're close to retaking the lead in the division, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The Vikings won't have Dalvin Cook this week. He is, or at least as of right now, he's on the COVID list. That popped up while the show was going on. So they're in the dome. I'm going to go Rams. I feel like I'm going to regret it.
I'm actually going Rams too because I don't know how Adam Thielen is coming, doing with his ankle.
Yeah.
Osborne has done pretty good as a secondary receiver, but I'm going with the Rams.
All right, so both going Rams. Next matchups, Bills and Patriots. And this one is tough because I feel like the Patriots.
What Patriots team we gonna get?
I don't know. And the Patriots defense has been really good. I'm going Bills. I'm going
Bills too. I was just gonna say that. I'm going Bills.
I went with the Patriots in the last one, and I felt pretty good about it. This week, I'm not so much. I think the Bills are going to probably get it together just a little bit. The only thing that concerns me once again is the Bills' running game. They have not been able to get that thing or figure that out. The last
game, Singletary looked good. He was
but
able to
the consistency. Where can they get the consistency in the running game? Because it's been like that. Like Burrito was good for 3 weeks. And then he just fell off. And then at the beginning of the season, it was Zach Moss. He was good for a couple of weeks or doing all right for a couple. So it's you don't know who's a consistent back, but they just need consistency all around from the running game, and that's the one thing.
And Davis has been a great counterpart to Diggs.
I'm glad Davis. I had Davis one of my fans. I really like Davis. Emmanuel Sanders has disappeared. The Emmanuel Sanders we saw in the first 6 games of the season, he was lighting it up. Now, I don't Nothing. It's crazy. Next one, Jaguars and Jets. Jaguars and Jets. I want to pick the Jaguars because, it's like.
You do because their Grindgate's gone. And so
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is actually playing good. And Robinson is back on the field playing.
Right. But
Get on my head. 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 Get on my head.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
Becca's gonna send you a hate message.
But we gotta use it while we got it. Man. He's gone now, man. Like, makes me sad. Just because we can't use the Grindgate video no more.
I'm going Jags. I'm going Jaguars just because the Jets. Their defense is so thin. It's not even funny.
I'm gonna go Jets. I like how they played against Miami last week. I think that they can maybe build a little momentum off of that. But the Jaguars,
just throwing it out there, their head coach is in COVID protocol.
Yeah. See, that makes it a little tough too. But it's a toss-up game, man. You don't know how when those teams are bad like that, anything could go. I'll go with the Jets. Just to be a little indifferent this time. Next one, Eagles and Giants. Big game for the Eagles. The last time these two teams played, the Giants won. When the Eagles had a chance to keep building up in that NFC East, they fell back and it would look bad. Now the Giants are still nicked up pretty bad. If they lose this one, the Eagles lose this one, oh man, Eagles fans are gonna be pissed.
I hate to put it this way, but when are we gonna allow and admit that Minshew needs to be the starting quarterback for this team, not Hurts?
I don't know if I'm ready to do that just yet. But I like what I saw from him. But Minshew played against the Jets. I need to see it against a bigger team before I can be like, oh, fine. Yeah.
But Jalen, he has more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns.
That's true. I feel like I'm gonna say make them more one-dimensional. Yeah, one-dimensional. But I like Minshew, and when I saw in that game, he looked very confident and cool. He didn't look like he was rattled. I mean, the guy's been a starter in the league, so I'm not surprised by that. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going Eagles. I'm on Eagles too, but I want to still give Jalen Hurts the benefit of the doubt. We'll see. Next
Hurts
one
has 14 touchdowns passing, 9 interceptions, man.
That's what you kind of get when you get those when you get running quarterbacks.
Let's see, rushing. He's got 10 touchdowns rushing. So, yeah.
Really? Dang, that's not bad, man. So it's 24. So, hey, man, look, if they make the playoffs, we'll see how he does then. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, man. Minshew did look really good in that Jets game, though. He looked really good in that Jets game. It definitely gave you pause for like, I don't know. Next one, we got Bucks and Panthers. Even though the Bucks are down and now the Panthers look absolutely miserable. And there's no way I'm picking the Panthers in this game. I got the Bucks.
See, I'm kind of split because the way we played against the Saints, and I mean the Saints has had our number. Let's be honest.
Right.
The last 4 regular season games, they beat us.
Right.
So for me, yeah, screw it. I love my team. I'm going Bucks.
Leishan and sir. Next one, we got the Chargers and the Texans. I got the Chargers in this one.
Fucking Chargers. They actually finally won a game I picked them in last week.
Isn't that nice? Oh, wait a minute. No, they didn't. Oh, they played the Chiefs last week. You talking about the week before? Was it the week before?
No, I don't care. Them and the Bills, they're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, they don't like you. I don't know what it is. Jay picks them and they lose. So I'm probably in trouble here for picking the Chargers, but it is what it is. Next one, we got Bears and Seahawks, 4:00 game on Sunday. I thought about picking the Bears in this one, but I can't. I think that the Seahawks have played better. The problem is they've been another team kind of riddled on that COVID front. Like both of their running backs, I don't know who they had starting at running back. I know Rashad Penny had a great week a couple weeks ago. Like Rashad Penny had like 100+ yards and a couple touchdowns. Man, I was like, man, Rashad Penny, yeah.
Yes, and Rob, you're right. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Never.
I can't stand you. Next one. Oh, and real quick, birthday shout out to our man Rob Johnson. Happy birthday, Rob. Rob turned 34 on yesterday as well. Man, Rob. Next one. It should be a really good one. Chiefs and Steelers. The Melvin Ingram Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you hear when they asked Coach Tomlin about the trade? And they asked him like, hey, you traded Melvin Ingram, he's playing great. Now, ever since they made that trade, the Chiefs haven't lost. So everybody's like, you thought Melvin, and he said, look, man, the guy didn't want to be here. He said, I want volunteers here. I want people that want to be here. It's like, so he didn't want to be here, so we sent them away. And it was beneficial to us. It was great. I thought his response was phenomenal.
I love Tomlin is one of my favorite coaches because he has been nothing but a class act, handles himself well. I mean, he did that whole rapist burger thing and stuff like that. And I love him. He will one day be a Hall of Fame coach.
Agreed. I hope he gets to one more Super Bowl. I think, or makes another really deep run in the playoffs. But it all depends on who their quarterback will be next year. I think that the Steelers' future is huge based off of next year. Next, who did you pick? You picked the Chiefs or the Steelers?
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs. I was trying to look at TJ Watt because I believe he has a chance to make history. I think he's got 17 sacks right now.
So he needs 6 more to break the record. 6 more to break the record. So watch out for that.
He is one guy that wreaks havoc on Patrick Mahomes, who loves to come out of the pocket and can actually catch Patrick.
The only thing that's starting to worry me about TJ Watt is I'm starting to see those injuries here and there. That JJ Watt situation where it's just like, man, like he just gets nicked up. And he's been getting nicked up a lot. And maybe it's because of how explosive he is as a player, because I think that's what kind of happened to JJ. JJ was just so explosive. Sometimes being as explosive can really hinder your body. I agree, but also the conditions in which he plays. You play up in Pittsburgh. The cold never does good for anything muscle-wise. That's true.
Unless you're trying to, hot, cold, do this. So
right.
And he leaves it all on the field. Let's be honest.
He does. I could never take that away from him. Never take that away from him.
He actually has 17 and a half sacks.
So then, he's really, because I think the record is 22 and a half. So he needs 16. He needs 6 more to break the record. And it's possible. We got 3 games left in the season. 3 games left in the season. You get 2 sacks a game. Nice little steady, JJ can do it.
Last week he had 3.5. So
right. So I'm saying you got to average 2. JJ. I mean TJ. You just got to average 2. Could be a Packer though. Next matchup.
Imagine if he was on one side and your middle was Campbell with who's that guy? Patrick Queen. Yeah, I went there. I had to.
Next one, Broncos and Raiders, 425 game. This one is a tough. I mean, really, I really don't have this one.
The Raiders have their quarterback. I don't have any faith in Drew Lock. None.
Yeah, Drew. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Teddy took a pretty. Yeah, I'm going Raiders because Teddy took a pretty rough hit in that last contest. Yeah, let's go Raiders on that one. I'm going Raiders on that one. Next one and last one. No, we got one more after this. Cowboys and Washington football team from Dallas on Sunday night.
They hadn't won. You can't say their name.
That doesn't make sense. You just said earlier I can say their name.
They won last week, so you can say their name.
I can't say their name this week. All right, let's do it over.
Those are the rules of engagement. Remember,
I just learned this today. Okay, I just learned this today. I thought you couldn't say it at all, so I started off try to go Arlington Desperados.
When they win, you're allowed to say it. After that, no more talk. It's the Arlington
Desperados. All right, so we got the rules. All right, Washington football team versus the Arlington Desperados. Sunday night, 8:20. and the benches for the Washington football team will be there. Copycats will be there. You know,
I
they
thought
brought
the
it
same
to
thing. I was
they
like,
brought it
what
to
about
Philadelphia,
the
and
benches?
they brought it to Philadelphia and took the L. So I don't know. I'm going with Cowboys. I mean, Desperados.
I'm going with the Desperados also.
Yeah, I'm going with them. I mean, Washington doesn't have a chance in this game. They do. I just don't see it happening.
But
I just don't see it happening.
are their quarterbacks going to be through protocol?
I
That's my concern.
believe they said that Heineke is back. That message came down earlier this morning.
Okay.
But no Kyle Allen right now. Kyle Allen is still
I'm
on
not
the
worried.
list.
Tyler better be their quarterback of the future, because if not, then they're a bunch of retards.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm still. I really like Heineke. I'm still not sure, but I don't know if it's him or not that I'm not sure about. I feel like if he started from the beginning and had the team from the beginning of the year, which he kind of did, but I think he had to kind of also get into the role of being the starter because they had that all on Fitzpatrick's shoulders, pretty much.
Yep.
So I mean, you know, they can get healthy. Well, I still think he deserves one more year to prove himself. That's what
I'm gonna just totally disagree with you on this, because the fact of it, he was when we played the Washington football team last year in the playoffs, that was the hardest game we played the entire postseason.
Right.
And then he held his own against our defense when we played them this year, and they whooped our ass.
They did go on a 4-game winning streak.
So
the game that they lost against, I can say it because that was a couple of weeks ago. Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. So when they played Dallas a couple of weeks ago and they lost in that contest, you know, like I felt like Heineke really could have, like they just looked stale in that game. And they was coming off a 4-game winning streak. Games that they look really impressive in. So
some of that stuff also needs to be put on the coordinators, because if you look at they try to run against Micah Parsons is a one-man wrecking crew for your running back. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran the ball more than they passed the ball, and that you got to let your quarterback throw the ball, especially against the Cowboys. Yes, they have the one guy that can make interceptions, but his coverage by PFF is, I think, in the 90s.
Well, hopefully they could get. Did Terry play this week, or was he still in concussion?
McLaurin, he didn't play. No.
So if they can get Terry back, that's going to be huge, because like Terry and Taylor have a really good connection, and they're going to need that. Man, you know who they really could use in this game? Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas has been really good at that team.
I was thinking about that, and you remember the undrafted free agent they picked up and let go? Thaddeus Moss.
Yeah.
You know who he's with?
Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dangerous, because, I mean, could you imagine? I'm not even going to say it. It's going to be great for the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, I think he played a couple of weeks ago too, if I'm not mistaken. Or I think he's now like playing now. So
he's moved up now. What's our Monday night game?
Monday night game, last one, Dolphins and Saints. This is the Ian Book story. You like the book story. Ian Book is being prepared. I'm just getting more word. This is from Ian Rappaport. They said they are preparing him as a starter, just in case. Like he is the man going into Monday night if everything does not,
against the Dolphins defense, which they've got amazing corners. They've got great pass rushers, and I don't know if the Saints got both their tackles back. But with the rookie going, I'm going Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins too. 6-game winning streak, making it look at 7. Now the Dolphins have the hardest road to try to make the playoffs, because they lost a lot of tiebreakers with the teams that are in front of them.
Yeah.
So there's still a chance, but they've got to keep winning. So we'll see if Flores can make one of the most memorable comebacks in history and get the Dolphins into the playoffs. And it seems like things keep going their way with this situation coming up with Ian Book coming in to start. This is ideal if you're the Dolphins. It's a chance for you guys to continue, because I think you do have to still play the Patriots, I believe, one more time. All right, everybody, that is our predictions for Week 16. And, of course, before we get out of here, you already know what we got to do.
And now it's time for Cash or Trash.
All right, it is cash or trash time. We got a couple of cash or trash topics for you today, and then we will head on out, and you can enjoy your wonderful, wonderful Christmas holiday. First,
She
cash or trash.
she coming after you with the scissors, bro.
What are you talking about,
Read the comments.
man? Come on, man. Come on. Like I'm trying. Like y'all keep changing the rules. I'm trying to learn here. Hey, still 10-4.
No, I think she giving you that shit because of the. She
But I
hates that
thought,
video
why did she hate that video? It's a great video.
because she's still. I think in her head she's still trying to figure out where Urban Meyer's hands are.
Oh, I can tell you exactly where they are. I can tell you because
So basically, it wasn't a woman; it was a scratch and sniff.
yeah, that's all it was. That wasn't no lady there. He was just what do you call this? Pat smear. That's all. Just a pat smear. That's it. He's a gynecologist. All right, next one. Cash or trash. Expanding college football playoffs. Now, bowl season is going on now. There's been a lot of talk about it. We talked about it a couple of times. But seeing how tight the college football playoff race was this year with those last couple of teams on the outside looking in, cash or trash on expanding the college football playoffs. Is that 4 now? Cash or trash it?
I really want to cash it for the fact of, I think that expanding it to 6 teams will give us more ability to see teams like, a couple years ago, Liberty, or when Ben was in college, Miami ran the table to see what they can do against big time schools. Yeah,
Right.
maybe they're going to get their whooped, but I just want to see it. That adds more probability to it.
Yeah, because that's what it helped the UCF teams a couple years ago that went undefeated, and they claimed themselves as national champions, which I don't even blame them because you went 13-0. You had the best record in college football. Nobody else went undefeated. You guys went undefeated, and you didn't even get a chance to go for the national championship. Which in my mind is, I think that's crazy. But that's why I said like the expanded playoffs. I would say probably I don't want to say 6, but I'm thinking it has to be something where the first 2 teams get a bye. In my opinion,
I agree. So that means that we'd have to do like 8.
Yeah, I would say either 8. Well, let's see. Yeah, either 8 or 6, because I would think if you did 6, you could do it the way the NFL does it, and the first 2 teams have a bye, and those 3 and 4 seeds kind of battle it out, and then they get this next week, like at least how they used to do it in the NFL. So,
and then we wouldn't have to worry about possibly seeing a replay of the SEC championship game again.
Yeah. They made sure that didn't happen this time. So, and we'll talk about that when we get closer to the national championship game. We'll do our predictions for that and the playoffs, because that doesn't start till next week, right? So we'll talk about that on next week's episode. So we'll get you our predictions of the college football playoffs next week. Next one, and I'm moving on. Next one, cash or trash. Right move, shutting the NHL down for a couple of days. Cash or trash.
I'm going to say I'm split 50-50. Trash, because I agree with what you had to say earlier. COVID's not going away. It's something that's going to be here. But then, shutting it down for a couple of days allows your guys to get through protocols. That way, so it's not affecting a team's record because they don't have the players there to win.
I'm gonna cash it because I especially and what everybody's been through. I don't mind them shutting it down for a couple of days. If they say, "Oh, we're going to do 2 weeks," I think that's too long. But I think if you do it for a couple of days, just to kind of get everybody a chance to go home, get themselves checked out, make sure it's okay, I don't see no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, it gets teams healthy and it gives people a chance to do things. Now, I do hate it for the fans' perspective, because if you're a fan and you brought tickets to a game and maybe your job, you had it set up for this day because I'm off that day and all that stuff, and now that messes you up and now you can't go to that game. I don't like it for that maybe fan.
Right.
I mean, I cash it the other way. I don't know what I heard. I'm sorry, I had a whole moment. All right, next one on cash or trash. We got Micah Parsons should win the defense. And we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. Should win the defensive player of the year.
Trash. Excuse me. Like I talked before, his teammate it possibly could break the record for interceptions. TJ Watt's got, I mean, there's like 4 or 5 people that's got more sacks than him. I don't see it. No, I mean,
Yeah,
in a couple of years, yeah.
I'm gonna cash him as the defensive rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. Yes, I agree with that.
I will trash him as that. I like you said, I think it's one of those things where you kind of have to. You mean look the way the season that TJ Watt is having. There's some other guys out there that I think are having really good seasons, maybe not getting the luster of the glory out there. But what Parsons is doing is really keeping that Desperados team, because I can say they win this week, but Desperados team. I'm trying to figure out which way to go here, man. Like the team with the star. As long as he's been a huge part of that team because he does a little bit of everything.
He does, and I'm still surprised that when Jalen Smith got released, he's been cut 2 more times since then.
Yeah, because I think the Giants had signed him on the practice squad this week. Probably
you guys had him and cut him.
Yeah, and I was very surprised by it initially, but then as I start to hear the rumors, they said in practice he just was getting destroyed. It was bad. And then he was missing tackles immediately when they started him in that one game, and I was like, yeah, that's not gonna be a good look. So name recognition wise, it would have been great, but I hate to see it happen to a player who has so much potential.
I mean, because he wasn't a guy before he got hurt that he was in Heisman.
He was top 5. He was Heisman talk top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5 pick in that draft. They were talking top 5. Everybody thought that Dallas got a steal, and they did for a while. If you look at how he played those first couple of seasons,
he was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he's a Pro Bowler. He was a Pro Bowler. He looked great. So I hope that he finds a way to kind of revitalize his career. But I don't know if those old injuries have kind of caught up with him. But I hope for the best for him. Last one on Cash or Trash. NBA season has been fun, man. It's been a while. I mean, they've had the COVID protocol stuff. We've seen Kyrie Irving actually get okay to come back and then goes immediately on the COVID list. Like I literally hey man, first day, you're back. Next day, COVID list. Right then and there. So he's right back out there for the Nets. The Nets are the number 1 seed in the East right now. The Bulls are number 2 right now, only a game behind. The Suns are the best team in the West at 25-5, and then the Warriors are right behind them. And then there's the Lakers. The Lakers are I don't know. They're like 19-13 or some weird number, but they're the 6th.
They're 500. They're 16-16.
16-16. So they're 16-16, and they started looking good for a little bit. Then they lost 3 in a row. So this is simple cash or trash. Will the Lakers turn it around? Cash or trash?
I gotta trash it because I mean the one problem I've had with LeBron is when he was in Cleveland, until he got people to help him, he would get there, but he couldn't finish off.
Mm-hmm.
So Davis is out.
Always out.
They got Westbrook, but I mean, LeBron, he got drafted in 2003.
Yeah.
Getting ready to be 20-year vet. He is getting up there in age. He's no longer the king. He's not the best player in the league.
He's still putting up good numbers, really good numbers. He's not the best player in the league, though, by far. He's top 5. I'll still give him top 5.
I'll give him top 5, but he's not number 1. He is not the GOAT, as you would call it, or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to take a lot for them to turn it around. But, I love the fact that I look at Cleveland and they're 19-13.
Yeah, but I heard this the other day. You're not going to like to hear this, but I heard that they was like, they said that the Lakers. I heard one thing that the Lakers should trade him back to Cleveland, and I forgot why I saw it on, and they was like they should trade him back to Cleveland. And I was like, no, or sure. Either that or sign him in the offseason.
We'll flip him for Kevin Love.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. If LeBron went back to that team, that young, talented team they have now, y'all, you would have won the East. You would have won the East immediately, sir. Or at least you would be in a really good spot, because I think Bron is in a part of his career now that yes, he can still take over a game if he wants, But
Right.
with a young squad like that, he wouldn't need
He would
to.
be a great mentor for Mobley, Garland. I mean, that really that core. I was iffy on a couple people they lost, but shit, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, but like the real problem with the Lakers, to be honest with you, is Anthony Davis. He is glass. There's and I hate to talk about a fellow Packer fan like that. I hate to talk about a fellow Packer fan like that. But the man is if you go and look at the number, I'm gonna pull this up before we get out of here. I gotta, because if you look at the numbers and say, well, man, what has been like Anthony Davis games that he's played, since he's been in the league, and it's crazy. I like looking at his looking at what he's done during the time frame. It's like, bro, like he's a very talented player. For him to be named to the All 75 team, which I thought was a joke. Like he's good, but he's not top 75. Dwight Howard deserved it over him. But here it is. So in his career, he's been in the league since 2012. Now, 82 games in the season, we all know. 64 games in the first season, 67 in the second, 68 in the third season, 61 in the fourth season. Then his most that he's ever played in, and he did it for back-to-back years, is 75. So he still missed 7 games in that season. He missed 56 in his last year, or he played 56 in his last year. So that's almost 30 games that he missed in that season. Then his first season as a Laker, he only played in 62 games as the first year as a Laker. So he missed 20 then. In the I think this might have been the strike year, the short year, he only played 36 games. I think they had that was the 60 game year. He only played 36 this year.
He played almost half of them. So
right, and so this year he's only played in 27. And see, what did you said they're 16 and 16, so he's already missed 5 or 6 games this year. Always hurt, and every time I turn on, you act any Laker fan, he gets touched. Oh, he's laying on the knee. I'm like, bro, that's the problem. But he wanted them there, and yes, he got him a championship. Barely got him a championship against the Miami Heat team that shouldn't have been close in that thing. But I digress. So, all right, everybody, that is it for Cash or Trash here on the Legacy Maker Sports Podcast. Me and Jay, thank you all for tuning in with us here on episode 288 of the podcast. Jay, before we get out of here, man, is there anything you want to say, wish, or whatever for Christmas and all that fancy stuff?
I just, again, sticking to what we've been saying the last. Reach out, aunts, uncles, grandma, grandpa, people you haven't talked to in years that are family members. Just reach out. Tell them you love them. You're thinking about them, because you never know when you won't be able to do it again.
I agree with you 6 billion %. Definitely hug the ones that hug the ones that are close to you. I have made it a thing now that every person that I come in contact with, I tell them I love them. That I've built any type of friendship or relationship association with, I tell them I love them. And I know it might be a little awkward to some people when I say it, because do you really know me like that? But I tell everybody now that I love you, because this experience the last 2 years has taught me that. Tell them now, because you can be like, man, they're gone. At least I got a chance to tell them I love them.
And that,
and I would admit it not as a selfish thing. It's kind of selfish, but it's also, that person knew that you at least cared about them
right
at that point in time. So
I'm not gonna take that away from you, man, because it sucks when you say goodbye,
right?
Or it is what it is.
It's been crazy, absolutely crazy. Well, everybody, thank you all for tuning in. I'm your man, Darrell Owens. This is your guy, Jeremiah Quimby. Everybody have a merry Christmas. Enjoy your holiday and take care, and be blessed.
God bless. Love y'all.